Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Norma Odidi and I make videos about faith, love and general life. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Also, if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing and click on the subscribe button below. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out new videos. Alright, so we did a video back in December, about how to identify the one, and we told you guys to let us know if you wanted us to talk about how we met. So let us know in the comment section if you'd like for us to do a video about how we met. And then some of you were kind enough to leave a comment saying you wanted to know how we met. Now, it's not as if we did not want to do the video, okay? We actually tried to film the video and I'm going to try and insert a clip, but it just seemed as if things were not just working out in our favor. So we were not able to complete the video. So now I decided to come and give you guys some of the gist about how we met. I know you may be expecting to see Yehuda here with me, but he is unavoidably absent, okay? And I just feel like it's about time this video came out, like it's about. And also you may have noticed some of the changes in the channel. If you have, let me know what they are in the comment section below. All right, I promise that you are going to enjoy this story, Like a lot of crazy things happened, on the journey of how we met, and then until we eventually got married, okay? So let's head right into the video. Yoda and I first met in secondary school. That was in 2011. I had just transferred schools. Now, SMAC alumna, is it alumna or alumni, whatever. But yeah, Yehuda also had just moved states with his parents, so they just came to Kaduna, and then we were both new students at St. Michael's. And I heard about some other new students, and one of the new students was this guy whom I heard had or used to speak Fone. That's what we call an accent here in Nigeria. So, and then for some reason, I don't know, I think I had just seen him a few times. I remember him having bushy hair. I don't know why, okay, but I just remember him having like a full hair, with his accent, and I was just like, I don't like this guy. I don't know why, honestly speaking. I don't know why I did not like him. Maybe it was because of the accent or something. But yeah, that was my first impression. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. So I think it wasn't until 2012 that was when we now eventually, okay, I don't know what happened. I think one of my friends then in secondary school told me that he could sing, I think. So that was how I dragged one of my other friend. I was in science class and he was in art class. So I dragged my friend to go and meet him. He mostly kept to himself, at least that was the impression I had of him. So I just saw him like scribbling something on a notebook, and I was like, so we heard you can sing, we want you to sing for us. God, teenage girl say, but I want you to sing for us. Like, you're just like, no, I can't sing, And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm doodling. This is the first time that we actually had a conversation, okay? But the one that I do remember was there was this class that we took together, both science and art class. We took economics class. So my friend and I, we used to sit at the back, and him and his friends, I think they sat in front of us. So I don't even know why we started that. I think my friend had a crush on him, but I don't even know how. I just know that I ended up, throwing like folded paper at him, at his ear, or looking for trouble, or like playing with his ear or something like that. And then anytime he wanted to turn, we both pretend as if nothing was happening, and then it will happen again, and then until I think the third time I couldn't take it anymore. So I burst out laughing. Yeah, so I think that was how we got talking. And then my birthday was in February, and I think we met at the kiosk where we usually buy like stuff for break. And I think I asked him to buy me a bottle of 7 Up, God. And then I was like, yeah, my birthday is coming up in February or something like that. Or was it when I told him that it was my birthday that day? Yes, and I think that was why he got me the bottle of 7 Up. Yeah, so that was just how we got talking. We started spending a lot of time together. I found out that he loved to read books. That was how he introduced me to Ted Decker, and he was impressed because I got the spelling of Decker, even though I had never heard of him before, So we just used to talk. He used to walk me to school. Can you imagine? My parents would give me transport money, but Yehuda would walk me all the way. He used to live in the school compound, close to the school compound. So he would walk me all the way to my house and back. So we just started spending a lot of time together, enjoying each other's company and conversations. I turned out a lot of people thought that we were actually like dating or something like that, but nothing like that happened. And then we used to exchange a lot of emails, phone conversations at night. Then when MTN Extra Cool was, in vogue that time, so we used to, have phone conversations.
By interviewer, you were intelligent enough to click with me.
So it wasn't until after graduation, after we finished SS3, and then he just kept contacting me, and I was like, this is not what I expected. I expected that after secondary school, everyone would kind of drift apart, and because the thing that we had in common is no longer there, everyone will go to higher institution, become a big boy, become a big girl, but he just so one day I asked him, I was like, why are you still interested in being friends with me? So that was how this young man started to confess feelings for me and everything. Okay, and I think he got admission into the university before I did. I stayed at home for a year before I got admission. Started confessing feelings for me and all that. And I was like, no, that you're going to forget about me by the time you get into university. You meet other cool ladies, people who are way cooler than me, more beautiful than I am, and stuff like that. And I was like, no, there's no one like you. Like, he was just saying all these nice things and everything, and then that kind of scared me because, okay, so while we were friends in secondary school, I started to develop feelings for him. And then one day I went to his house and I just knocked on the gate. I think I wanted to borrow his book or something, and I actually think that I may have just done that to have an excuse to see him. I went with one of our other mutual friends, that's his good friend Taiwo, and so he came out and then he was on the call with someone or something like that, so he didn't really have our time. He just gave us the book. He wasn't present, and that kind of hurt me. So that's our mutual friend now told me that that's his girlfriend, and then I just feel like that was when reality set in. That what am I thinking? We are high school students, and even if we get together, how long before this whole feeling culminates in marriage and everything? I just felt like there was no need investing my feelings into anything. So that was how I went home. I knelt down, I prayed, I said, God, please, I have feelings for this boy, please take away the feelings, and after a while, I just noticed that those feelings were gone, and I was just relating with him as friends. Okay, so back to where I was. So when he now began to confess these feelings for me, I was just like, whoa, it scared me because I didn't see him that way, I just saw him as a friend, and I did not know how to tell him that I'm not interested in you that way, I didn't want to hurt his feelings or something like that. And so that was how I was now like, oh, why are you telling me about your feelings on WhatsApp? If you really want to ask me out or something, come to my house and tell me. Do you know that this young man actually came to my house just to come and confess his feelings for me? I didn't expect it, and that's how I just ran away. Basically, I did not give him a definitive answer. Okay, I just kept dodging. I now got admission into the university, and then our friendship kind of hit a rough patch, because I wanted to meet other people and stuff like that, and Yehuda is the kind of person who, the moment he's invested in a relationship, whether a guy relationship, a platonic relationship or a romantic relationship, he goes all in, like all in, and he was like so committed, so consistent, but I would blow him off, and so he would stay away. But the moment I just like reached out a bit, he would come back with all of the attention and stuff like that. Yeah, so our friendship, our relationship, was like kind of off and on. Now I'm not talking about a romantic relationship. All throughout all this period, we were not in any romantic relationship whatsoever. So that was how in 2016, suddenly I just felt like, that was a period, that was the year that I actually started speaking in tongues. And that was how, sorry, I'm trying to check if everything is going on as it should, And so that's how in 2016, I don't know, I had a dream, what I call a clear dream. That's that kind of dream that it doesn't feel like it's a dream. It feels like I just transported somewhere, and then when I opened my eyes, I came back to my own world, I had a dream whereby we were married. Mind you, we had not really been in touch. We were married, and it was at our wedding, and we're surrounded by our secondary school classmates, like they were all dancing, like we were dancing, having fun, and I was so happy. And I told them that, you see, I told you that we were going to end up together. He wore white. That was how I got the idea that he should wear white on our wedding day. And so I told them, I was like, I told you that we're going to end up together, and I woke up. And that's what I told my roommate, and one of our other friend, Alex. And I was like, I know who my husband is. It's the able that we're going to get married. I don't know if they remember this, but I was just so convinced that this is my husband, And that was how out of the blue, I just reached out to this young man, started confessing my feelings for him. Like, not even feelings, I didn't call them feelings. I said, I love you with the love of Christ, Like, true story, I said, like, just saying, oh, this and that and that and that. And then the poor boy was just confused, In fact, this was me that I was even happy. I wanted to set him up with somebody else. Like, I wanted him to end up with someone else. You understand? Because I was like, I need him to, like, take all this attention away from me and, like, invest it in someone else. So just out of the blues, I just said, oh, I love you, And which, by the way, I think was not a good idea. And then he was just like, okay, that this is all also sudden, like, give me a break, at least let's build our friendship again, before you are declaring and confessing love and everything like that, and then what we used to talk that period, I told you, like, Yehuda will come all in the moment you just, show that, okay, you might be interested. And so that's how back to back for 3 months, every single day we used to talk on the phone for hours. Every day we're talking, but this young man, I wasn't getting that, assurance that I wanted. I wanted to say, yes, I'll be with you and things like that. We just used to talk. I don't even, like, about nothing, about everything, And every time I'll be like, okay, how far now? Like, I've told you this and that and that. And then he was like, oh, I just want to get to know you again, like, we've been 2 different people. This was 2016. So this was like 3 years after graduation, right? So it was like, I just want to get to know you again, because it seems like a lot has happened with you, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like, basically, we have both become different people, And so I was not patient, I just felt like, no, it's either me or nothing, it's either all or nothing, And so that was how it didn't work out, we both went our separate ways again. And I think this time around, was different from all the other times that we would get in contact and then drift apart, I think this one was the time where the drifting was pretty serious. Like, it would take months before we would, like, get in touch with each other again and stuff like that. Now, fast forward to 2018, the year when everything changed. This was the year I just felt like this year, like in 2018, I first of all, like, that was the year that I felt like I experienced the tangible love of God. It just felt like love was a person, and this person was, like, always with me, like, walking with me. I can't explain it. And that was also the year I felt like I'm going to meet my person this year. Like, this is the year I'll meet one. Like, mind you, I've never really been a marriage crazy person. Like, I've not really been someone who has like obsessed about marriage. Like, oh, I want to get married, But that year, I just felt like I'm going to meet my person this year. And so I was on the lookout. I was expectant, like, yes, I'm going to meet the person, I started trying to like reconnect with my guy friends like around me, trying to say, okay, is this the one, could this be the one? Could this be the one? Do you understand? Like, I was trying to like rekindle those friendships, and not even just male friendships, even other friends around me, like including females, And so I sent text messages to all my friends. I think I sent to my roommate, other people. And Yehuda was one of the people I sent the message to, just appreciating him. Like, thank you for being there, Like, this has been like a constant person in my life, like since 2011, 2012, just appreciating him. And he responded, and he would call me from time to time. On his birthday, I sent him a text message, which is something that I had struggled with in the past. He was always one that would remember my birthday and reach out, And so yeah, we just started keeping in touch again, Now, while this was going on, one of the people I had met
2,000 years later.
In the process of trying to rekindle friendship with one of my other friends, I met someone basically. And so that was how I sort of like became friends with this person, and then before you know it, we got into a relationship. Now, I remember thinking like, what? Like, how am I going to tell you that I'm in a relationship now? I don't know. At the back of my mind, there was just this feeling like, oh, I've done something wrong. I don't know, as if I went behind his back to do something, And I didn't know why I had that thought or that feeling. So yeah, while Yoda and I were talking one day, that I think on WhatsApp, and he was like, oh, when are you coming back? He just kept like hitting on that, when are you coming back and stuff, So I was like, oh, I'll be coming back home so and so day. I was like, okay, I'm going to come and wait for you where the car will drop you off, and I'll help you with your load. That was how I came back, and then I came back with my then boyfriend, and then Hilda helped me to carry my things to the house. Both of them saw and just greeted, my boyfriend went to his own house, and then Hilda helped me with my things to my own house, And then yeah, we planned to see each other the following week. Mind you, he did not know that person was my boyfriend, because I hadn't told him yet. And then he just treated me nicely and everything. Like, we went out, had fun, he got me a gift, And so when I got back home, I now messaged him. I was like, okay, today was fun and all that, and some of these things that you did for me, like, why did you do them for me? And then he was just like, oh, I treat my friends well or something like that, And then I was like, oh no, I think I was the one that said, do you treat all your friends like this? Yes, I said, do you treat all your friends like this? And then that was when he now told me his intentions, that he had been hammering on, oh, when are you coming back? Because he had plans, like he had told himself like this is the year that I'm getting, like, I'm not going to waste any more time, because you soon be in your final year, and before you start thinking about marriage. And he was like, he didn't want to take any chances before someone else would like get into a relationship with me. And I was just like, oh my god. So I kind of hinted that I may be in a relationship, and he was like, do you know the story of King David? How his soldiers wanted him to kill Saul when he had the opportunity, and he said, no, I'm not going to touch the Lord's anointed and the Lord's chosen one. And then he was like, guess what? I was like, what? He said, I'm not King David. Yeah, but I think eventually he didn't try to cross too much boundaries, when I told him that I was in a relationship, But the truth of the matter is that I think when I was preparing to get back home, I just had this feeling that the moment I left that state, and the moment we were in different locations, I felt like our relationship would not be able to last. I felt like we had not built something that would last or be able to withstand that distance, and then some things were not right in the relationship, and so when I got back home, I just felt there's something that isolation does, there's something that removing yourself from a situation does to you, and I just began to feel convicted about certain things, and honestly, I think Yehuda was also a big distraction for me, and yeah, that was how I just told myself, you know what, I can't exactly continue like this because, like I said, certain things were not going right in the relationship. So that was how I mustered up the courage, and I called things off with the other person. And honestly speaking, when I called things off with the other person, I didn't call it off. I'm like, oh, I'm calling it off with you, and then so that I can jump into a relationship with you. That in fact, I had told you that I was like, please, I just need time, I just need space. I want to like discover myself, know who I am, and everything. But Yehuda was not going to take that, like he kept prodding me and saying, what are you waiting for? You can find yourself with me and things like that. And then eventually, so I called off that relationship in, I think, November, if I'm not mistaken. And then by the next year, February, after Yehuda and I had been friends, basically just building our friendship, spending time with each other, talking. And then remember that message, that email that I sent him in 2016. It was now my turn. It seemed as if we had switched roles. Do you know that he even had to forward me the email again because for some reason I couldn't find it, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't see what you were talking about then, but now I'm like convinced, like, yes, you were right, you had the vision there, and I was just like, okay, just like you said, I also am going to need time to like get to know you again and basically just build up something new, and yeah, I remember one of the things he told me, like, when I just first got home, was that I've already prayed, like, you don't stand a chance against me. I've already prayed you into my life, And yeah, I just admired his confidence, I admired the fact that he knew what he wanted. That is not something that I had experienced before. I remember while I was still in that previous relationship and while I was in school, I went for a sister's conference, I remember I told you that I felt like that was the year that I would meet my person. So while I was in that conference, I just felt God put in my heart that your husband is going to pursue you and then he's going to be a pastor, And I got into that relationship because I felt like, oh, maybe I'm limiting myself by being too focused on, oh, he must be a pastor, And I think that may be a video for another day. So that was the first time that I had ever, thought of the word pursue in that manner. Like, the word pursue is not something that I would just sit down and say, oh, pursue, But suddenly I just felt like I knew the meaning of it, like I understood the implication of what that word pursue meant, and I just felt like that is how I would be able to know who my husband is. And yeah, he did just that, like he pursued me, I had never experienced someone putting in so much effort just to get to know me, to get to know my heart. Like, it was amazing, it was beautiful, and that was what he did. Like, he was so intentional. I think that was it, intentionality. And so it was that intentionality that eventually got to me. And yeah, in February of 2019, I think that was when we made things official and we began dating. And yes, June 10th of 2021 we got engaged. June 10th of 2020 we got engaged, and October of that same year was our introduction.
He's going down on one knee and he has obtained our finger. Ladies and gentlemen, she has collected the normal finger. Well, let's see what will happen. Please, camera flash very well. Let's see.
And then in December 19th, we got married. And yeah, so we've been married for a year and 5 months to the glory of God. And yeah, so that's the story of how we met. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and if there are any other topics maybe surrounding this whole how we met, wedding, engagement and stuff like that you'd like to know about, please leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to look into them. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.